So we have just pulled into the Albertown campground, and I'm gonna show it to you in a second because it is so flying here. Like crazy busy, but it's actually really cool. So we drove from Queenstown to Wanaka, and then we pulled into this town. I think that we're in Albertown. I'll correct that if I'm wrong. But we pulled in and it is so busy. Traffic, bumper to bumper. Anyways, we eventually get here and we're like, oh, it's because it's a holiday. So last night was New Year's Eve, but in New Zealand, the first is a holiday and the second is also a holiday. So people are here probably to party. Lots of young people just like sitting in the back of the truck, drinking kind of thing. So I think it's gonna be a good time, though we have to go to sleep pretty soon. It's already 6:20 and we're getting up really early to do a hike, and I'll tell you about that in a sec. But first, let's get set up and check out this campground. I prepared some food for tomorrow, and then as soon as I was like packing it into our cooler, I was like, oh my god, what are we gonna have for dinner? So on our way out, we just picked up some sushi to go. I got like a nari roll. Doesn't look like the best sushi I've ever seen in my life.
Especially not coming from Vancouver. It's hard to find sushi that compares.
Yeah, the only place that has better sushi than Vancouver is Japan.
But that's actually, they do say that. Vancouver has like the second best sushi in the world.
And Brazil.
Brazil as well?
Uh-huh. I think it's Brazil. And the sushi in Vancouver is cheap. The sushi is not cheap here. And
no. Yeah, that's the
looks
thing.
mid.
It's really good and it's cheap as fuck.
In Vancouver, everyone lives off sushi. You know, here's the thing. My head is 100% on tomorrow, because tomorrow we are hiking Roy's Peak, and Roy's Peak is a pretty difficult hike here in New Zealand. We're waking up in the middle of the night to do it because we want to get there for sunrise. And usually this is not like, you know, we've never done a sunrise hike. We didn't do the one in Bali. It's a bit of a regret for me because I look back and I think like, why didn't we do that hike when we were in Bali? And I think the reason was just because I was like, oh no, like that sounds hard, you know, to wake up early. But look, it's the new year. It is 2024. It's the first day of 2024 here in New Zealand. And I'm challenging myself this year. I want to do some cool shit this year.
It stays light out till like after 10 o'clock p.m. We already knew we were gonna go to bed while it was still light out, but we're gonna go to bed at like 7 o'clock. So it's gonna be light for like 3 or 4 more hours before, and we're gonna be sleeping, hopefully.
All these people are gonna still be partying when we're getting up to leave.
100%. The lady at the front was like, oh, she's like, how old are you? Rachel's like, we're 30. I assume that she asked because there's probably a lot of kids, like underage kids here who can't drink. I don't know. Weird question.
Not that we're drinking tonight.
No.
Are you jealous?
Yeah, I wish I could go, but we have to be in bed relatively soon.
What time is it right now?
It is 7:26. Don't make fun of my background. It always changes with the weather.
You are an old man.
Because when I was working in pest control, when you apply your pesticides, you have to write down the amount of pesticides you use, the wind direction, the wind speed, whether it was raining or not. Instead of having to like unlock my phone every time, I would just open it.
Okay, but you don't work in pest control anymore.
I know, and then I kind of just started liking it.
It's enough, grandfather. Time for bed.
So we made it to 2024, and we're 30 years old now. And we watched fireworks last night, played Mario Kart with friends.
The most low-key New Year's celebration.
It was pretty fun though.
But it was really fun.
Yeah.
It's gonna be such a good year. We've been talking about it so much. Like,
I think 30 is the new 20 for sure, man.
I felt really weird about turning 30, honestly. I didn't think I was going to, and then I started to have these weird thoughts about turning 30 and being like, oh my god, like, just societal pressures. I feel like sometimes we work so hard to escape them, yet we can't completely escape them at all times. So right now, our New Zealand series is definitely continuing. We're loving living in New Zealand, so we're gonna keep doing it. And I feel like we honestly just got here. But while we're working, because we're working in Queenstown, we're saving up all of our money so that we can go to South America this winter, well, summer, basically starting in June. Anyways, with that, I'd love to pop a bottle of champagne right now, but no, we're gonna try to go to bed in the heat of the day. It's literally so hot in here. And because we're getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning. Okay. So we just got to the trailhead. It is 2:30 now. And of course the people that were like on our asses driving over, they also came to the trailhead, so. Because we're doing the hike together. No, there's actually so many people here. I think that in this parking lot, if you have like a self-contained van, you can sleep in this parking lot overnight. So at first I was like, oh my god, there's so many people here. But I think a lot of them are just sleeping in this parking lot. So, but we didn't want to get ready at our campsite because people are sleeping. So we're gonna do it here and then get on the trail, I guess. A little behind from the time that I wanted to originally go, but that's okay. Okay, let's do this. It begins. We definitely heard and watched in other people's videos that the beginning is just incline, like pretty steep incline for the whole first at least hour or so.
We're like probably not even a kilometer into the hike. Everybody's kind of starting at the same time because if you're gonna catch the sunrise, that's the time you want to start at. But there's this like weirdly big group. They're all stopping at different times and going in different times. And we don't really want to be mixed in, so we're just gonna stop for 5 minutes and let everyone go.
Okay, so we've been hiking for about, let me check, I think it's about an hour and a half. Yeah, oh, just over an hour. And, oh my god, okay, so for those who don't know, I'm a bit asthmatic and I'm really feeling it on this hike. Actually, this is like the worst that I've felt my breathing since I was a kid. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just the day. I don't know if it's because I didn't get much sleep last night or woke up in the middle of the night or just the particular altitude. I don't know. But it's really not fun because it feels like, I don't know, anyone who's like a bit asthmatic knows that like when your body wants to keep going but you just can't really breathe. That's what it kind of feels like. But anyways, it's literally so beautiful outside. The stars, like we have our headlamps on obviously, but you hardly need them because the moonlight is so bright and it's so beautiful. I just really want to make it to the top. At one point I was like, I think I need to turn back because my breathing is so bad right now. I don't know, I've always felt in my life like there's certain things that I can't do, like not just because of that, but like I don't know, certain hikes or like how I was saying about Indonesia, I was just like, oh, that's just something other people do that I can't do. And I'm like, no, like there's so many people doing this. If they can all do it, I can do it too. Obviously Nick is solid. Nick's always solid. There's lots of people passing us right now. And for my pride, I need to keep walking.
It feels weird being on a trail in the middle of the night and not having to worry about any predators, except for sheep, which aren't a predator, but they are around.
Like you kind of see their eyes and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Like in Canada, you don't want to see a pack of eyes.
No, usually that's something bad. Gotta try and get to the peak before the sun fully comes up, but you can start to see some of the colors. Hopefully that's enough to motivate us to keep going.
I'm just absolutely fascinated by how many people are out doing this sunrise hike. Like I feel like it's actually really beautiful watching all these humans like hike under the stars and try to see some kind of colors in the sky. It feels so natural, I guess.
We made it.
It's so cold. I wish I had a puffer jacket, but I don't own one. If you have a puffer jacket and you come to do this hike, bring it. God, it's beautiful here. Well, guys, welcome to a new year. I am calling it now. This year is going to be about big, bold adventures, traveling far and wide, expanding our minds in what we know, learning new things, and checking off bucket list items. I must say that watching the sunrise atop a mountain in New Zealand, I mean, I don't know about you, but to me it seems like a pretty good way to kick it off.